Hey everyone, welcome back to Moan Movies Review. At the end of Chapter 3, after being saved by the Bowery King, John Wick sets off on a mission to earn back his freedom. His first stop is the head of the Assassin Council, the Elder. He charges in on horseback, chasing down 3 of the Elder's men like a true warrior. Despite their efforts to flee, they don't get far. John sends them straight to the afterlife. Kneeling before the Elder, John begs for his wedding ring and a chance at freedom. But the Elder declares that John has already gone too far to be forgiven. Even if John kills him, assassins will still hunt him down and claim his head as a trophy. Hearing that, John doesn't hesitate. He kills the Elder, ending the talk and the threat. News of the Elder's sudden death spreads quickly and shakes the assassin world. Soon, a new leader takes charge, none other than the ruthless Marquis Brayman. This guy's all guts, no brains, a real wild card. As his first act, he orders the destruction of the New York Continental, run by Winston. Brayman believes Winston aided John, and no one can defy the rules of the High Table. He wastes no time blowing up the hotel and reducing it to rubble. Winston watches in heartbreak, powerless to stop it. To make things worse, his loyal concierge is coldly executed by Brayman. From this moment, Winston is stripped of his title and power. And that's just the opening move in the Marquis' grand plan to reset the system. To take John down, the Marquis knows he needs someone truly dangerous. So he turns to a deadly assassin, Kane, played by Donnie Yen. Though blind, Kane's combat skills rival John's. He's no less lethal. At first, Kane refuses. He's retired and wants no part in the hunt. But in this world, once you serve the High Table, you serve for life. Fail to obey, and you'll be 6 feet under before sundown. That night, John arrives at the Osaka Continental in Japan, seeking help from an old friend. That friend is Shimazu, the hotel manager and a man of honor. John apologizes, knowing his visit could bring nothing but trouble for his friend. But Shimazu brushes it off, saying hardship is the only way to know who your true friends are. Just then, the High Table forces arrive, believing John is hiding in the hotel. Akira, Shimazu's daughter, quickly warns her father about the situation. He tells her to stay with John, while his loyal fighter Jun helps prepare for what's coming. Shimazu commands his men to ready the weapons, bracing for the worst. He calmly tells the High Table reps, "If you've got business, let's talk like professionals. Because Continental grounds are neutral, no bloodshed allowed." Just then, Kane enters and warns Shimazu not to resist or face a tragic end. Shimazu challenges him, "Have you forgotten the bond between the 3 of us? Both men have daughters. It's not hard to see where their loyalty lies." Kane only joined the hunt because he wants to keep his daughter safe, no matter the cost. The soldiers grow impatient and get ready to attack, tired of the conversation. But Shimazu makes the first move, cuts the lights, unleashes his fighters, and kills one instantly. It's official, Shimazu has declared war on the High Table. And with that, an all-out battle erupts. The enemy wears bulletproof suits, giving them a clear advantage. But Shimazu is a master swordsman with just a katana. He slices through them like butter. Still, it's not enough. Reinforcements arrive, heavily armed and ready for war. Realizing they're outgunned, Shimazu orders his men to retreat and regroup. Up on the rooftop, Akira confronts John about bringing this chaos to her family's doorstep. Suddenly, High Table troops appear, and Akira strips off her jacket, ready to fight. She tosses off her coat to move freely, and teams up with John to take the fight to the invaders. While their bullets can't pierce the enemy's armor, Akira's arrows hit their mark with deadly precision. Those arrows must be made of uranium. They tear through armor like it's paper. John's faced armored troops before, so he knows just where to strike, right where the armor ends. He and Akira fight side by side, picking off the attackers one by one. But the enemies just keep coming like a never-ending swarm. They fight until their arms go numb, yet there's no end in sight. Things get worse. Akira takes a bullet to the stomach. Luckily, Shimazu arrives just in time to save his daughter. He turns to John and says, "Help me show these thugs what a real fight looks like. If you ask for help, you'd better be ready to return the favor," and John is. He storms downstairs, flips the kill switch, and goes on a rampage. Tired of bullets, he switches to knives. Tired of knives, bring out the nunchucks. With nunchucks in hand, he channels Bruce Lee. Anyone who steps up gets knocked out cold. He swings like a man possessed, no mercy, no hesitation. Meanwhile, Kane finishes his bowl of spicy noodles and jumps into the action. Though blind, his hearing is razor sharp. Bullets don't always hit, so he goes old school, uses a cane to beat down enemies. His strikes are lightning fast. You blink, you miss. Despite Shimazu's crew being saved, they still get crushed, caught off guard by Kane's precision. Kane even plants motion-triggered bells in the kitchen. Anyone who steps near, he knows exactly where they are. This lets him attack without seeing his instincts do the rest. Yet he doesn't kill Shimazu's men, just knocks them out. Back to our main man. After slicing through the high table forces, John finally faces the blind knight. Kane holds a gun but says, "Let's keep it close quarters, no shooting here." Still, he fires anyway. He's Chinese, not Catholic. Rules don't apply. John grabs a gun of his own. Let's dance. They exchange shots like candy on Halloween, sweet but not deadly. After a fierce shootout, John runs out of ammo. He fakes being dead, staying still so Kane lets his guard down. Then he sneaks over to grab another gun. But he makes a noise. Kane hears it right away. The blind knight swings his sword, striking again and again as John struggles to defend. Suddenly, a shout rings out. A mysterious black assassin joins the chaos. John and Kane dodge, taking cover immediately. At this point, John's bounty hits $20 million. He's the hottest target in town. His location's exposed, and soon, more assassins will be on his trail. But just when things look bleak, the nameless black assassin helps John wipe out the ambushers. Turns out, he thinks $20 million is too low. He's holding out for a better payday. $50 million sounds more like it, he says. Meanwhile, Kane confronts Shimazu and Akira, demanding to know where John went. But Shimazu would rather die than betray a friend. And so, the two old warriors draw swords and clash. Shimazu fights valiantly, but age and exhaustion take their toll. Kane lands a fatal blow, a deep strike to the abdomen that ends Shimazu's fight. Akira steps in, ready to avenge her father, but Kane stops her. He pleads, "Go, don't throw your life away. I'm doing this because my daughter's life depends on it." Back in New York, Winston meets the Bowery King. The two aging legends plot to shake the high table to its core. Meanwhile, Marquis Brayman is losing it. His entire squad wiped out, not a single survivor. He believes striking continental hotels will make everyone too scared to help John Wick again. Because John's pursuit of freedom is seen as a dangerous idea, it might inspire others to rebel. The next day, John seeks out Winston to ask who's behind the wave of killers chasing him. Winston tells him it's the new boss, Marquis Brayman, and he's currently in Paris. "So what's your plan, John?" he asks. "I'm going to kill him," John replies. Winston shakes his head. "You're being naive. Kill him and someone else will take his place. You need to make him surrender and officially return your freedom. Challenge him to a duel. But to do that," Winston adds, "you must belong to a family within the high table." Without hesitation, John heads back to his roots, an old crime family in Russia. He barely says a word before someone blasts him with a shotgun. Fortunately, he's wearing body armor. Still, they capture him instantly. His adoptive sister Katia greets him with sarcasm. "What's up, broke boy? Long time no see." John asks why they're still punishing him. Hasn't he suffered enough? He tells her the Marquis killed Uncle Peter just like John once killed the previous elder. He begs her to help him earn the right to duel Brayman and avenge their family. Katia, being a tough Russian, laughs at fear. She agrees to help, but only if John takes out a gangster named Killa Harkin first. Soon, John is escorted to a casino where Harkin operates. Unexpectedly, he runs into both Kane and the mysterious black assassin. Everyone's here to grab the now $50 million bounty. They decide to settle things Vegas style with a game of poker. Winner takes it all. Each player is dealt 5 cards just like a real poker match. John scores a pair of aces and a pair of eights. Kane pulls for 9s. The black assassin gets a straight flush. But the fat guy Harkin magically has 5 of a kind, clearly cheating. John slices his face with a card. Game over. Then the 3 of them take out Harkin's bodyguards in brutal fashion. Harkin sees things going south and makes a run for it. John chases him into a packed nightclub filled with partygoers. Even as bodies drop nearby, the crowd keeps dancing like nothing's happening. Eventually, John catches up to the massive brute. Though obese, Harkin's surprisingly skilled. He pummels John and tosses him around like a ragdoll. At one point, he even lifts John high and slams him down hard. But John's not dying today. Main characters have plot armor. He gets back up and starts clearing out Harkin's goons like a man on a mission. Meanwhile, Kane and the black assassin are doing the same. Harkin corners John, calls him a cursed man who brings death to everyone around him. John's had enough. He strikes back and slams the guy to the floor. He delivers a brutal flurry of punches until Harkin can't move. But somehow, the big guy survives and tries to escape again. Not for long. John hurls an axe straight into his butt, then finishes him off with a final stomp. Just like that, Harkin is history. John takes the gold tooth from Harkin and hands it to Katia as proof of a job well done. True to her word, Katia welcomes him back into the family and grants him the right to duel Brayman. Wasting no time, Winston delivers the official duel letter to the Marquis. The Marquis sneers, saying he won't bother fighting a dead man. But rules are rules, he has no choice but to accept the challenge. Winston taunts him, beat the man who scared the entire high table, and you'll be a legend. But if you lose, John walks free. And I get my hotel back. Tempting enough, the Marquis agrees. Finding the terms fair enough, the Marquis nods in agreement. The next day at noon, John arrives in Paris to finalize the duel's rules and details. It's decided. The duel will take place at dawn, in front of a sacred cathedral. The weapon of choice, old-school dueling pistols, 6-shot revolvers. They'll begin 30 paces apart and fire on command. If no one falls, they move 10 paces closer and shoot again until one man goes down. But the Marquis is a sly one. He names Cain as his champion in the duel. Cain could refuse, but the safety of his daughter is hanging in the balance. If he wins, both he and his daughter will be free and under high table protection forever. John needs a safe place to prepare for the battle ahead. So, he turns to the Bowery King once again. The king even gives him a brand new bulletproof suit for the final showdown. It's time to punch fate in the face and look good doing it. But the Marquis isn't done scheming. He wants John dead before the duel. He's terrified of losing and becoming a laughingstock. So, he issues a special alert. Someone is offering $100 million for John Wick's head tonight. No sooner is the word out than bounty hunters start sharpening their blades. While they roll in with heavy weapons, John has only one 6-shooter. But it's not about the size of the gun, it's all about skill. The Bowery King smuggles John and Winston through the sewers to get them as close to the church as possible. Fearing he won't survive, John asks for one final favor. Carve John Wick loving husband on his tombstone, so future generations know his pain. But as soon as he hits the streets, bounty hunters are everywhere. There's no time to breathe. With no other choice, John starts fighting his way forward. A hitman in a speeding car tries to flatten him, but John flips up and blasts him into oblivion. He hijacks another car and begins turning assassins into roadkill on the streets of Paris. Even though they know they can't beat him, these killers will risk their lives for a shot at the money. But if John keeps fighting, he won't make it to the church by sunrise, so he speeds off. And fortunately, the Marquis' right-hand man is one step ahead. He's deployed 500 men across every possible route. They try to box John in, ramming his car, but he breaks through. His driving is masterclass, pure assassin style. At one point, he spins the car around to take out another pursuer mid-drift. He drives in circles, mowing down anyone who dares pop their head out. But disaster strikes, he's hit, and his car flips over. John crawls out, still alive, and keeps pushing toward his goal. You have to wonder, how has no cop shown up yet? We've had non-stop gunfire and explosions. Just then, the Marquis' giant bodyguard shows up, tall, strong, and relentless. Physically, he's a beast. John quickly finds himself overwhelmed. Luckily, Parisians don't care, they keep driving as usual. That chaos gives John a window to escape. But the killers are still on his heels, they're not backing down. Fine, since they came all this way, John's ready to send them straight to hell. No mercy, no survivors. Meanwhile, the Marquis is panicking. John's still alive. He calls the nameless assassin and raises the bounty another $20 million. The assassin says, make it $30 million, but gets rejected. So, he flips sides 180 degrees and decides to help John instead. John quickly hops on a nearby motorcycle and speeds off into the night. He weaves into an abandoned building, with killers closing in fast behind him. Meanwhile, the black assassin and his loyal dog continue raising the price in their own deadly way. This time, the Marquis is genuinely rattled, his confidence is crumbling. He finally agrees to the assassin's new price, $140 million. Back inside the building, John snags a new gun. This one's a beast. Anyone shot with it instantly bursts into flames. But even that doesn't scare the killers. They charge like starving wolves and die like them too. After an intense firefight, John comes face to face with the black assassin. They sprint through the chaos, guns blazing, but can't hit a thing. At the same time, the Marquis' giant enforcer charges into the building. Just when John gets the chance to shoot the black assassin, he turns and saves his dog instead. He shoots the enforcer instead, rescuing the pup, then leaps out the window to escape. Now there's only one thing left. He has to climb to 120 steps to reach the church before dawn. But of course, the stairs are crawling with enemies. No choice, he fights his way up, step by bloody step. The killers just keep coming, more than a protest rally, and twice as hostile. Finally reaching the top, John is blindsided. The enforcer kicks him all the way back down. You've got to wonder, what kind of karma is John paying off in this life? Thankfully, Cain isn't the kind of man to take advantage of a wounded opponent. Together, they climb the stairs fighting side by side to take down the Marquis men. But that enforcer is still alive and still a serious problem. Again and again, he pummels John like he's made of rubber and rage. Just when he's about to deliver the final blow, the black assassin appears at the perfect moment. He gives the command, his dog leaps in and mauls the guy where it hurts most. And with that goodbye dignity, and goodbye bodyguard. At last, Kane and John arrive at the church on time, ready for the final duel. Two former brothers in arms, now forced to fight to the death. To keep it fair, bulletproof suits are banned and they'll use antique dueling pistols from Napoleon's era. The duel begins. They take their positions 30 paces apart. The Marquis tries to psych up Kane but gets cussed out instead. The bell tolls and both men fire their first shots. They're both hit in the arm but neither goes down. Time for round 2. They step forward now 20 paces apart and fire again. Still, both stand. Closer and deadlier, this next round will decide everything. One must fall. Kane is faster, he fires and John drops to the ground, wounded. The Marquis rushes forward, demanding to deliver the final shot. Kane asks, "Is my daughter safe now?" The Marquis smugly says, "Yes, you're both free." That's when John, who never fired his last round, shoots the Marquis straight in the head. Turns out, it was all a setup. He let Kane wound him just to lure the Marquis out. And finally, after everything, John Wick earns his freedom back. But the wounds are too deep. He collapses, never to rise again. True to their word, Winston and the Bowery King lay John to rest beside his beloved wife Helen, under a headstone that reads, "John Wick, loving husband." And that is the end of the film. A journey of blood, pain, and sacrifice. Thanks for sticking around until the end of this review. See you in the next video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on Moan Movies Review so you won't miss any epic content.